What do you think people that are looking to apply to culinary school should know before they apply? So someone that's getting into it, maybe from an international student's perspective, what should they know?
Right. So I would definitely, as an international student, look at the requirements of the culinary school you want to attend. Obviously, before going through the process, a lot of universities require an English aptitude test, or they require like an SAT version for international students. So do all your research of what you need before you start applying. That way you're prepared going into the application process, what that looks like. Not to discourage anyone, but it's just a longer process than if you were just, directly applying. And also reach out to, a lot of schools have an international admissions office. So talk to them directly on the phone, really try to get to know that office, because they're the ones that are going to be processing all your documents. So really get to know that office as an international student. And also it's important to know the area where the universities are. So I knew Johnson & Wales in North Miami. I knew there were it was internationally, there were a lot of international students there, and there's, being Hispanic, I wanted to be surrounded with Spanish speaking people that were Hispanic. So I would definitely recommend do your research of what's around that culinary school, and if it's tailored towards international students. So if I would have moved, to the middle of like Ohio, nothing against Ohio, but like maybe
Right.
there weren't any international students or Hispanic students there that I could relate to. So if that's something you want out of a university, definitely do the research ahead of time. See if they have an international students club or activities for international students. And Johnson Wales even had an orientation specific for international students.
Wow.
So I think that's what really drew me to the university, knowing that I had a place and there were other students like me. So definitely do your research. And then if you're living on campus, I didn't really do my research of what that would look like, just because that's not a thing in Mexico. Like, people don't live on campuses in college. That's something I saw in the movies, and then reality check when I got here. So definitely, like, is it walkable? Like, is there a grocery store? Like, can you, walk around campus? So I know different colleges and universities are more tailored towards students living on campus. So definitely look into that before you decide to apply, especially if you're going to be living in the dorm.
Right. If it's a residential campus or is it a commuter campus, you want to know those
Yes.
things. And it's really hard going to college by itself, just that change and moving in and away from home, but to be an international student and do that,
Yeah.
or going to a new country on top of it, is really going to be, some major changes. So your advice is really on point, that contact the people that are experts in that on that campus.
Yes, for sure. And they might, and even if they don't have resources, you just asking those questions forces them to think, oh, well, maybe we should open up more resources for these students. So, it goes without saying that, students drive the college, I think. So if students need something, or if there's an interest in something, the university will do its best to provide resources for that.
Sure, because the community is
Yeah.
the student, and the student drives
Yeah.
that, particularly in a public university.
Yes.